Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing in the quarantine world? Y'all okay? Good. Your girl is okay. I'm making it. I am striving. I am doing as best as I can. So today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I edit photos on my phone. There's a lot of apps out there that are really good to edit. My personal favorite is going to be Lightroom. Lightroom just gives you a lot more options, okay, to edit, to get those details, to get those colors that you really want. So we're going to use Lightroom today on my phone. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. We're all about creativity, originality, and chasing your dreams. So you're probably on this page because you're a creator. So make sure you subscribe to this channel because you do not want to miss all the creative things that I will be giving on this page. Also, click that notification bell so you know exactly when I post. You don't want to miss it, okay? So let's get into the video. So we're gonna edit this picture today. I love this picture, okay? So as you can see down the bottom, you have all your tools and things you can create. The first thing you want to do, well, the first thing I like to do is change the lighting. Anything I need to fix with lighting. The exposure is not bad. I'm just gonna move it down just a little bit. I love contrast. Contrast just makes it a little bit more moody. So I'm gonna add a lot bit more contrast, give me a little bit more shadows. So I love those shadows there. Highlights, I'm going to take away, I'm not going to take away so much highlight in this. I'm actually going to just dim it down just a tiny bit. Shadows, they're pretty good where they are. I like my shadows, so I'm just going to dim them down just a little bit. My whites, I'm going to take my whites down actually, all the way down. Blacks, I want them to be black, so I'm going to take that down just a little bit. Okay, so it's looking better already. So it's really moody. I love the moodiness of it. I love it. So I wanted to keep all of those different shadows and lighting, the specific lighting on half my face. So definitely it's really good to turn your blacks down and also your highlights down, so that way you can get that that shadow effect, and also turn your contrast up. This curve is just another way to kind of fix your lighting. I like to do the thing that's called the SCurve. This just gives it a little bit more dramatic. You know what I'm saying. So the good thing about this, you can actually change per color, or you can actually change the whole thing in general. Because I do see some red in there, I'm going to change the red, and I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit. I'm going for a little bit more vintage vibe, and vintage has a lot of red, a lot of oranges in there, so I'm going to mess with those just to give it a little bit of more vintage vibe. And as you can see already, by me fixing that red, it looks a lot more vintage. So let me see, I might mess with my greens too. My greens, ooh, honestly, I just mess with these curves until it looks the way I want it to look. There's no particular thing that I do every time. It just depends on the picture, honestly. And I like this dark look, so I think I'm going to, I think I like that. So we're done with that. So next thing we're going to do is color. So this is where you're going to change your white balance, your temperature, your saturation, your vibrance, your tint. And so I'm gonna bring mine down just a little bit because I want it to be a little bit more cooler. So I'm gonna bring my temperature down just a hair. My tint, I'll bring it up just a little bit. Vibrance. So I'm gonna bring my saturation up just a tiny bit because I really want that red back there. And I may actually, now that I think about it, I need to bring my temperature up slightly to give it a little bit more of a vintage vibe. Another thing that I like to do is up here you see mix, and this is where you can individually do your coloring. So if you can individually change your reds, change your blues, purples, greens, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to start with my greens. So here I want my plants to stick out a little bit more, so I'm actually going to, I'm just going to change the hue a little bit more. Saturation gives it a little bit more color. Luminance is how bright the color is. Let's go to reds. So as you can see, like if I do like all the way down, this is like a pink, all the way up it's like an orange. this is really cool that you can do this with your coloring. I like my reddish background, so I'm not gonna change the red too much here. Oranges, usually as a black person, oranges are going to be within your skin, so you got to be careful with oranges because you don't want to change your skin too much. You want to make sure it looks as natural as possible. So I'm not going to change my oranges. All right, so my blue, so I'm going to change my jean shirt just a little bit to make it a little bit more brighter. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, I think I like that. I don't really have any purples or pinks, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. I do have it in my head wrap just a little bit, but it's nothing major. So I'm done there. All right, let's move on to the effects. Texture, it just gives it a little bit more, honestly, just sharper. So if you like your pictures to look more sharper, look more clearer, then you want to use texture, okay? And it just gives you more texture of your skin, more texture of your shirts or background, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna bring my texture up a little bit. If I bring it all the way up, it's like super sharp. If we bring it all the way down, it's really blurry. So I wanna keep it at a medium. So that's good. Clarity, same thing. It just gives it a little bit more sharper. This whole thing just makes your picture a little bit more sharper or a little bit more blurry. So clarity just gives it a little bit more pop, a little bit more sharpness to your picture. So I'm going to bring it down just a tad. I don't want to be too sharp. Dehaze kind of gives you a little bit more color, but I don't want to really dehaze it. So let's do some grain. Grain just gives it a little bit more of a film look, a little bit more vintage look. So if you like grainy stuff, I'm gonna do a little bit of grain. I don't want too much grain. Cool. I love to do split tone. Split toning just gives you just the look. It just gives you the feel of the picture with your highlights and your shadows, okay? I like to just play around with it until something looks good. Actually, no, I think I'm going to, and you can kind of mess with it, like as you can see, until it gets to something you really like. I just stick with my blues, and I don't like the way my skin looks on that, so I'm gonna stick with my oranges and my reds, but I don't want too much. I never want too much highlights, and my shadows the same. All right, I'll keep it there. So cool. So let's move on to details, right? I don't really want to sharpen my picture because I did a lot of texture, so I'm just going to keep it kind of like at 40. A lot of beauty people like to use more noise reduction to make their face look a little bit more clear and softer. So it's your preference. I'm going for a little bit more natural feel, so I'm not going to really use it. I don't really need it, honestly. Want more details? I just turn my details up just to give it, you know, a little bit more realistic feel. I don't really use optics or geometry, so I'm good on that. And I'm gonna save this as a preset. So let's say vintage guitar. So if you want to, if you don't want to have to do this all over again, you can save it as a preset, and you can just use it for all the other pictures. So save the preset. And that is how I edit on my phone using Adobe Lightroom, okay? Excellent tool. Super easy. You can use it for both Android and iPhone to my understanding. Definitely recommend this app if you're trying to find different ways to edit on your phone. This is a free app that you can use, so if you don't want to pay for the software or your computer, you can always use this and it will do its justice on your phone as well. So I use both, just depending on how quickly I want to get a picture out, etc. So that is how I edit. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see y'all next time. All right, bye.